Hello everybody, Sunday the 9th of April, happy Easter. I got my, as you might have seen from a previous video, I got my GoPro up and running. So I'm going to see my friend Richard in Muizenberg, and it's an iconic route that I'll be taking on the False Bay coast. So let me just film it for people who've forgotten Cape Town, or overseas people possibly. So I've just come onto the National Highway, the N2, heading towards Cape Town. You probably, so I'm travelling west. You might have seen Table Mountain, the western view, the eastern view of Cable Mountain, and also the iconic Devil's Peak profile in the distance. When these trees go away, then you'll probably see it again. Then I'm hopping on, I'm going to take a left turn. So on the right of me is Stellenbosch, behind me Somerset West. So on the right it'll go up towards Stellenbosch, and then Paarl on the left. We're going to jump onto the R310, which is Baden Powell Drive, and then take the sort of classic windswept through the sand dune sort of route along the very edge of False Bay, or the northern edge of False Bay, sweeping all the way into Muizenberg. You should be able to see. We just swivel it to get a center view. There's my swivel system working. Devil's Peak on the right, and the eastern edge of Table Mountain just next to that. So I've been ahead in the books for a couple of days. Wow, I'm trying to big projects to get content up on Udemy, but that's sort of sparking all sorts of side projects. I hope I haven't gone too far. I don't think so. So that's sparking sort of side projects a little bit to make sure the overall picture of everything is right. Excuse me. So, you know, because the my website needs to talk to my brochure, and whatever I'm starting to put on Udemy, they've got to kind of talk to each other. So yesterday and a bit on Friday even, I was doing a little bit of a website refresh. Ended up taking quite a while because I didn't change content too much. I really just tightened it up. I'm praying this is going to say R310. There was a bridge I went over, but that no sign here. Pretty much sure this has got to be the R310. Yeah. So I've been heading in the books. Well, just to get that right. That I sort of finished yesterday, and then another bit of admin is a long outstanding project. You know, with my whole mapping thing, that's over the couple of years consumed quite a bit of time figuring out that lot. How am I going to share my routes and blah blah. I ended up running into a couple of complications. I thought I had it waxed a year or two back, and then probably a year ago I think I had a bit of a project running between Basecamp, which is the free software you get that interfaces with the Garmin devices, blah blah. Anyway, so I had that kind of worked out, but then again, this first leg of the trip was quite busy, or just, you know, with not everything figured out. So it took me a whole lot of time just to get the GoPro videos up. It's only finished like a week ago. And when I was in Maun, I think I was trying to refigure out how I was doing the map thing. I thought maybe I don't need Basecamp, I can just do it directly in Google, in my maps on Google. And then I just ran into some quite complex limitations on layers and things in Google Maps, and then I basically just left it. So I picked it up again yesterday, and I'm kind of happy though. I mean, it's like you got to get back into the workflow of stuff. How does Basecamp work? How does this? How does that? So on the right side here, in case any of you are wondering, is the eastern edge of Khayelitsha, one of the landmark areas in Cape Town from resettlement from the apartheid days. Khayelitsha was built, and it's basically been stretching eastwards. And this road, this R310, is the kind of eastern boundary of the informal parts of Khayelitsha, I could say. It's we just pan you to the right. So across over there is in the distance Khayelitsha, formerly laid out area. When I did my work after my MBA in '97, in fact, I was doing affordable housing in Khayelitsha with Habitat for Humanity. But as I say, this is the informal parts. Swiveling to the front again. There we can see False Bay. And the mountain range that goes all the way down to Cape Point. That's not Cape Point there on the left, I don't think. It goes further down. But let me pan you this way quickly before we get mountains in the way. So there's Hanklip, the iconic picture of Hanklip. And again into the eastern little corner of, or let's call it that northeastern little corner of False Bay. I might as well say hello, because it is me. Hello, it's me, everybody. Itching to get on the road a little bit, I must say. Got my Africa Free Trade Conference coming up in a week's time. 1 week it starts, and thereafter we'll hopefully be leaving as soon as possible after that. Lesotho, Eswatini, Mozambique, tracking northeast, northwest, Zimbabwe, Zambia, tracking northeast, Malawi, Tanzania, maybe going to the coast, I'm not sure, and then tracking northwest again, Burundi, and straight up into Rwanda. Itching to get there because there's a lot of promising stuff that we'll be doing. Made some progress this week with my friend Isaac on what kind of residency visa that I'd be applying for. So essentially it looks like I'd be, or myself and Isaac, possibly setting up an entity in Rwanda and then employing me as under the framework of occupations in demand. So Rwanda have got an occupations in demand list, which is quite understandable, being a medium low or a low income country, and they want to be high income by 2050. Very aggressive, ambitious plans. So that's going to need a lot of, just business skills, managers all over the place, building the economy. So I'm not quite sure if I'll just go in as on a regular occupations in demand, which requires you to advertise locally. You can't find the person, then you come in, because I see there is also a secondment classification. So you're a multinational of sorts setting up a local operation, and you're seconding someone to go work in the country, which might be a simpler route. Okay, so back to, let me turn it sideways a bit so you can get a better, sorry about that, so you can get a bit of the road and a bit of False Bay. False Bay is, well, not many of you, well, I was going to say as many of you know, but the false perception, of course, is that the two oceans, the Indian Ocean and the Atlantic, meet at Cape Point, which is that one kind of down over there, which is incorrect actually. The two oceans meet at Cape Agulhas, which is about 2 hours, it's a couple hundred k's east, and it's the southern tip of Africa, which is also why I'm going to be leaving officially from Cape Agulhas. So this is all Indian Ocean, and quite pleasantly it's warm. So compared to what's known here in Cape Town as the Atlantic seaboard, the Atlantic side, although it's still Atlantic on this side because the oceans meet at Cape Agulhas. So the oceans meet at Cape Agulhas, but this side is still the warm ocean side. The so-called Atlantic side is freezing cold. Well, a hell of a lot colder any time of the day or any time of the year. So this is the swimming ocean. So anywhere here on False Bay, back at sort of Gordon's Bay Strand where I'm staying, Muizenberg, Cork Bay, St James, Fishhook, you know, any of the areas in the False Bay side are usually got some nice warm ocean. I can show you I've also got a vertical swivel. Isn't that exciting? Well, I had before, but it's all kind of a lot simpler. A little bit of again, Table Mountain over there. Nice little bit of a cloudy day. We had a little bit of rain yesterday. We were forecast for rain, but it's been okay. It's definitely turning. Easter is the traditional time for the rain to start in Cape Town, being a Mediterranean climate. So it has been getting nippy. This truck we just passed, you might have noticed the fishing gear. So it's also this whole beach area, all the way kind of through to, well, not all the way to Muizenberg, but that's also swimming and stuff. It's quite a popular fisherman's hangout. Whoa, sorry for that. Trying to get my geography right, I think. I think that furthest residential area is actually Simonstown. Furthest on the left. And then the other big one in, I don't know if you can sort of see that, makes sense over there, is I think that's Fishhook. Or in fact, I'm getting a bit wrong, the last one is Simonstown, then the next valley area where there's a bit of housing you get is Glencairn, and then the next one for the valley is Fishhook. As those of you who are busy ponderating your Google Maps will no doubt see, whether you do it on plain view or satellite view or terrain view, a bit nice there. So dead ahead is Cork Bay. So where you see that tallish building, that's Muizenberg. Then you track down, you get St James, Cork Bay, then it goes round into Fishhook, which is now going out of view. So you got that quite a bit of a buttress mountain. That's the Fishhook mountain. So that one straight over there with the buttress, that's the Fishhook, sort of Fishhook part of overlooking the ocean. But there's a valley there that goes all the way back, so you can't see the end bit of it. But the next part is Cork Bay, and then going to St James, and then to Simonstown. And over there you saw the Fishhook one. The next buttress is Glencairn, and that goes around a bit, and that last lot all the way down there is Simonstown and environs, if I can say. Simonstown extending into the last few residential areas before it becomes fully, right, this is what I meant a bit earlier, saying you're like right on the beach. Of course, when there's huge storms, this becomes quite covered with sand. Found a hell of a luck, because the huge shopping mall near me, Somerset Mall, free plug, another free plug, the Spur restaurant, our favourite little place to go and sit and work and diddly-fy when I want to be out of it. I got the hugest surprise a few weeks back, Because Spur doesn't have Wi-Fi. They say, no, you must go onto the mall's Wi-Fi. And I was, oh my God, that's going to be terrible. My friends, it's between 100 megabits and 200 megabit speed on that thing. It's not, it's like a 200 meg download and a 100 meg upload. It is massive. So when I was there last week just catching up on GoPro uploads, I mean, it was taking, yeah, maybe 20 minutes, but that was for like a 10 gig upload or something. It's phenomenal. Well, overseas you might say, oh, what, 200 megs, that's like whatever. But I mean, to have a 100 or a 200 meg line on a shopping mall is just unbelievable. You know, you'd expect 5 megabit line, you know, 10 down, 5 up megabit, and then you're sharing that with a whole bunch of people. So, you know, I was expecting it to be less than a megabit, and yeah, I've got anywhere from 10. So I was saying gigs earlier. So 200 megabit upload, 100 megabit down. So I'm going to have to visit there, because this file will probably be 10 gigs, this video. Alright, that all becomes a little bit clearer. That tall building up ahead, landmark, Muizenberg. Muizenberg also quite a famous surfing beach. I think Sunrise Beach is the name of the beach here, and then what's it called? Surfers Corner or Muizenberg something? So now you should be able to see those housing things a bit better. Muizenberg, St. James, Cork Bay, just on the edge of that one mountain, if the definition's there, just beyond that fishhook, around the corner, just beyond that Glen Cairn, and then the last lot is all Simonstown. They're coming quite strongly now in to Muizenberger. Let's just give you a little view that way. Still nip through the nip, you might have just seen again the eastern push of Table Mountain. So the whole range of mountains going from this lot up. Constantia, very famous area, still wine farms there. It's the middle of the residential area, but there's still very famous wine farms. Let's show you here on the left. Everyone's having a nice Easter time at the beach. Probably one of the last times really, because it already starts getting chilly. Got a thought in my head what's going on when I turn the bike, because of course this GoPro points up and down depending if I'm turning left or right because of the lean or just the handlebar thingy. Muizenberg flea market. Drive coming to an end. Was my I'm going to go to the shops just to get some victuals. Oh, let me try and show you quickly. There's Table Mountain over there, if you can see. Just lost it. You see Table Mountain in the background, better view of it. Not anymore, I think. Should be able to say GoPro swivel left 90 degrees. It's bloody raining. I thought it was someone's car wiper, but there's a drizzle coming from this pretty little cloud up over here on the right. I'm not going to show you because there's a bit cars running around. Surface corner, there you are, that's what I said. It should be a nicer view over there. Right, that's the shop I'm planning to go to. Hopefully there's a lot of no entry stuff going on over here. Right. That's me.